Yeah. Okay. So you got it right.
Mm.
The XML part, which I have explained yesterday, which is a rare case we are using in the integration part. Okay. Now we are
Okay.
going to start with the REST API. It's a more important one, which is a regular thing in the integration we are going to use. It's a regular base. Okay, it's a very important one. This is a REST API. So I will share my screen. Can you able to see my screen? Okay, you can able to see my screen, right? Hello.
See your screen.
Yeah. So which is the part now I'm going to explain, which is a REST API. Okay. So what is the exactly here REST APIs? Now we have done the SOAP and now we are going to start a REST API. So it's a regular part in integration. In every integration, they are used most and most important thing is the REST only. Okay. So what is the REST exactly? REST API means is a representational state transfer application programming interface, which we can able to transfer the data from Salesforce to outside of the system. Means it's a inbound. It's a inbound. It's not a outbound. Outbound means what is the outbound here? Which the data is coming from the outside in the system, that is called as a outbound. Which is the system, which is the Salesforce sending the data to the other system, it is called as a inbound. Okay. In the rest, we can able to do two things here, which is the inbound also, which is a outbound also. That is called as a two-way integration. It's a thumb rule. What is the thumb rule here? It's a two-way integration, which is a inbound and outbound. In rest only, we are going to use all categories. In this, we can able to learn how we can able to get the data and how we can able to push the data and how we can able to update the data and how we can able to delete the data in the Salesforce ecosystem. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a representative state transfer application programming interface. It's used to exchange data between two systems over HTTP. What is the HTTP here? It's a hypertext. Okay, which it is. It's a secure. It's a secure the web service which we can able to pass the data or else we can able to take the data from the third party system. Okay. REST in the REST. Okay. The REST API, when it will use more into integration. This is a concepts which we can able to use. This is an example only, which is a REST API. Means we can able to send, like we can able to take the data from the mobile applications in the Salesforce and website. We have a lot of website we are having from the websites also. From the websites also, we can able to take the data, and from the SAP systems also we can able to take the data, and MuleSoft also we can able to take the data in the sales. Like other activities also are there which we can able to take the data also, and which we can able to insert the data from the Salesforce to the third party ecosystem. Okay. Now
Okay.
in the JSON, like in the rest only, we are going to use a JSON, which I have explained that serialize and deserialize, right? You got the idea about what is the serialize and what is the deserialize and what is the JSON parser and JSON
Mm.
generator. Those are all the things comes under in the REST API. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So now in this REST API, we having a important methods, like in Apex we having a DML operations, right? Like we can insert the record, update the record, and undo the record, delete the record. Like that also in like that also in the integration also we are having a methods where we can able to see the method in HTTP only. We can able to see the methods. Like in the interview, they will tell you what is the HTTP methods. Then you should have to say we are having a few methods that is called as a get, post, put, patch, delete. These are all the methods. These are all the thumb rules for HTTP methods in the integration part. In the integration part, how many methods are there? We are having overall 5 methods. Overall, the five
Okay.
methods we are having in the integration concepts. From this only, the integration it will be run. Without this, the integration it will not run. Clear?
Yes.
So first example. First example, we are going to basic. Okay. So what is the basic here? We are getting the data. Now we don't have the third party system. Like we didn't connect any kind of third party system. Now, do you know Workbench?
Yes.
From the work, see, we're having a we can able to data migrate from the Workbench as well, and we can able to migrate the data from the data loader as well. But when we are doing a integration, then we need to use the data. Then we need to use the Workbench. The Workbench is the purpose of the integration only. Integration purpose only. The Workbench, the Salesforce is launched. How we can able to do? I will explain it today itself. I will explain get. Okay. After that, I will explain other methods as well. Because okay. So get. So now, what is the get here exactly? Now, think it's a Workbench is a third party system. Okay. Now the user. Now you are working in Workbench and you don't know the Salesforce. Okay. Now, so now you need to pull. You need to pull the data from the Salesforce ecosystem, from the account record, from the account object. Like you need to know exactly my data is there or not. My data is there or not in the Salesforce ecosystem. You should have to find out. Okay, so you don't
Yes.
have the Salesforce credentials, so you can't able to pull the data. So that's why the Salesforce launched REST API, which we can able to use RESTful resources. The when we use the RESTful resources, then only we can able to send the data from one system to other system. From Salesforce to third party system, we can able to send the data when we are using RESTful resources. RESTful resources using URL parameters. Using URL parameters, when we can able, then you can able to get a data from where URL parameters. Okay, so endpoint. Okay, you know the endpoint, right? I already explained you what is the endpoint exactly.
Yes.
In like uh, when we are connecting the data in name credentials or in a remote set setting, we should have to put the endpoint. Then the connectivity it will be strong. Now we are now for the workbench. For the workbench, we don't have any kind of endpoints. So how you can able to send the data? That's why in the Apex only we should have to create our own endpoint. That endpoint only we can able to call in the workbench. That endpoint you should have to share to the workbench user. Then the workbench user he will paste the endpoint. Then he can able to get the data from the account object. From the account object. So now I'm going to this Apex class. So I don't want to disclose you. So I will share this notes. Okay. I will open the developer console here. Okay. Now I want to create. Now I want to create one Apex class. So you can able to get understand how we can able to create the REST API class. So from the help of the API class, the endpoint it will be generate. That endpoint we need to call in the workbench. In the workbench, you can able to get the data in the JSON format. In the JSON format. So let's go just new class. Now here, now I'm going to create a class customer API. Customer API. Just click OK. Huh? It's already there. Customer API. Now here, this is a class, correct? This is a class. Now when we are using JSON, sorry, when we are using XML or serialize or deserialize, then we need to use a public. Like we are storing the data, we are sending the data in the Salesforce ecosystem only. Now you need to send the data from one system to other system. Then what we need to use as this modifier?
Global.
Global. Okay. Global I have used. So what is the next thing here? So if you want to secure, then you can mention with sharing, or else you can remove without sharing as well. Okay. Or else you don't want, you can remove it. If you want to secure.
Okay.
So I'm not doing anything here. Now, before that, first line, I told you, right? We need to, if we want to send the data from one system to other system, from Salesforce to third-party system, then we should have to use RESTful resources. How we can able to write? At the rate REST. So you are, yes, you are RESTful resources. Okay, RESTful resources. This one we should have to add. Then only you can able to send the data. Then only third-party system they can you can able to send the data. If you use the RESTful, like in LWC, if you use the Aura method, Aura enabled only, then only you can able to call the Apex class in the LWC. Correct, like that only. When we use the
Yes.
RESTful resources, then only we can able to pass the data from one system to other system. So, RESTful resources. So how we can able to pass the data with the help of the URL. With the help of the URL. Like must and say you should have to write the URL. Without URL, you can't be able to send the data. Okay. URL in the sense it's a endpoint. URL means it's a endpoint. Every class you should have to mention the endpoint. With the help of the endpoint only, the third party system they can able to find out the data. Without endpoint URL, you can't be able to find the data. How we can able to write the endpoint URL? URL mapping. Okay, this is one. After that, what we need to do? Exactly equal to slash. Now here I need to use here endpoint URL name. Endpoint URL name. Like I want to use new customer, for example. Okay, new customer. So I will end this one. I'll put star. Come on. I think it's missing something. Oh, sorry. I should have to use outside. Oh, now this is a correct way. This is endpoint URL. It's a endpoint. Like when we use the URL mapping, right? Then in the backend, the endpoint URL it will be generated automatically. I will tell you how we need to use the endpoint URL exactly. We need to declare this first. We need to declare this first step. Clear?
Yes.
Now second. Now second, it will come main concept that is called it as a methods. It will come a main concept called the methods. At the rate HTTP get. HTTP get. Now we are getting a data. Like get in the sense what? We are sending the data. We are sending the data to the third party system. Okay. We are sending the data from the like this endpoint URL. This endpoint URL once the customer is inserted the URL, then he can able to get the data. That's why we are mentioning here get the data. Like in our perspective, what is it here? We are pushing. But user perspective, what it is get. Clear?
Mm. Yes, understood.
Now method. Right. Method. Global, static, string. Get, custom. Okay. Now I will use. Now I will use what I will use here. I want to in the URL the customer. The customer he will find with the help of the URL. In the URL we should have to insert the parameters as well. What is the parameter here? Fields. We need to insert the attributes in the URL. So how? So now you are the customer. You want to know your data, it is stored or not. Then you should have to put your name and you should have to put your phone number. Then only you can able to get the data. So we should have to mention the attributes also in the endpoint. How we can able to mention string name is equal. Now they having here one syntax text context dot request params. We are adding a params in the URL. PARAM params dot get. What we are sending? Name first. Okay. We are sending a name. Then next, what's the next thing here? Next thing same as it is. It's a name and industry. And here industry. Okay. Now I want to return. Now the user want to return the data. Now user want to return the data. He need to get the data. Return customer name. Okay. Should we get thing? It's the correct or okay. Once complete, then it will be the errors. Plus name plus industry plus industry. Okay. So he will return. He will return like this. Now save this one. So what you can able to see here. So this is it will not save because it's just an example how we can able to pass the parameters in the URL. In the URL, how we can able to pass the parameters. So like this way, we can able to pass the parameters in the URL. Then the user can able to see the parameter. Then the user can insert the account name and what is it? His account name and his industry. What like industry we are having a lot of values. In that industry, what is the industry he can if he insert right, then he can able to get the JSON format, all activities he can able to see the data. So in this concept, what is the status code?
200.
Sorry.
Get 200.
Yes. The status code is exactly the 200. Then only he can able to see the data and then only he can able to find out exactly what is the correct update. Correct. So when we're having a lot of status codes, we're having a lot of status codes like 201 and 400 and 405. But we should have to take care what is the exactly one. Then only we can able to see the correct example of the data. Okay. Now here, if I open errors here, HTTP get method is there, right? Hello.
The rest resources in the first line. I guess that will be the S needs to remove.
Sorry.
It will be resource. It will be rest resource, not rest resources. S
Rest
from the last. Rest resource,
resource.
not S.
Okay. Save it.
And the sixth line, those are rest context.
Yeah. Rest. Save it. Okay. So now what's happening here? The user can able to get a data from the in the written format. In the written format. And very good, Mitra. Okay. So you are getting right. What is the exactly in REST? How we can able to create the REST resources and how we can able to map the parameters in the URL format. Okay. So this is a
Yes. So these params are coming from where? Like
no,
whatever the third party system is sending.
no. Yes, we should have to create the params in the URL. Whenever we are inserting the REST context, right? Request params, like the in the URL only, it will automatically map the params in the URL. Then we need to give the endpoint URL. That's it. We don't want to give anything. Just we need to give the endpoint URL. Then what he will do, he will just use the endpoint URL. Then he will insert his account name and industry. Then he will get the proper output with the help of the ID. With ID also he can able to get very easily. Clear?
Okay. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, understood.
Actually, voice is too low, Mitra. I can't able to hear you.
Yeah, yeah, I understood.
Yeah. So for example, this is a Mitra itself. Okay. Now I want to. He's a customer. For example, you are a customer, Mitra Limited, and what's the industry here? Agriculture. Okay. This is a Mitra Private Limited and agriculture. Now this is a we have done the resources. Okay. Now it's ready to pass the data. Now it's ready to pass the information. Exactly what we are mentioning here. Like we are not mentioning exactly. We are not mentioning here account object. Like just the example only I'm showing you. This is just example. I'm not mentioning any kind of object. Okay. This is a basic. It's a just a basic how the customer he can able to get a proper data. I'm not mentioning any kind of data model here. I'm not mentioning any kind of objects fields. Just it's an example. Now this class I should have to call. Now I want to call this one in the in the workbench. Do you know right how to open the workbench?
Yes.
Okay, it's already there. Now you should have to select which one in this jump to it is a right. We should have to select REST Explorer. We should have to select here REST Explorer. Just click in that. Just click select. Now you can able to see a integration format. Integration format. Now we need to select as a get. We need to select as a
How
get.
the new customer came automatically?
Which one?
In the URL, the new customer, how it came
No, no.
automatically?
It's a recent one. Like in the integration which I am using the integration right in my scenarios. Which is the
Okay,
this is
okay,
one recent one.
okay.
Okay. See here, it's a like when you open the workbench, like for example, today you have work the integration. Okay, in the workbench, and then you log out again tomorrow. If you log in right, then the URL it will be populated as it is here. It will not remove. We should have to remove the URL. Clear?
Okay.
Now here get. Okay. Now he's a customer. Now he want to get the data. Now he want to get the data exactly in JSON format. So now what I will do? So what is the process? So what is the URL here? Just slash service slash apex rest slash Now this is a URL, right? This is a new customer. In the URL mapping, what I'm mentioning here, new customer, question. In customer, in the new customer, what you want to find, name equal to, like what name you want. I want TCS, for example. Okay, I want
Mm.
TCS because here I'm not using any kind of account object. So I can't able to retrieve the data from the account object record, right? Just I'm mentioning the it's working fine or not. Like it's a postman. In the postman, it's a testing purpose, right? It's a uh, I'm also doing as a testing purpose. I'm using a workbench in the REST. For example, TCS. Okay, and here it is. And so what is the next parameter here?
Industry.
Industry is equal to, for example, IT. For example, IT. Okay. Now, if I click execute, now you can able to get a response here. Like this, you can able to get the response. So it's not good, but you should have to, what you need to click here? You should have to click show raw response. You should have to click this one. Whenever you
Okay.
click the execute, then if you get like this, right, means it's working correctly. Then you should have to click show raw response. If you click right, then you can able to see the raw response in this format. Totally, it's a JSON format. You can able to see, right?
Yes.
It's a JSON format. It's a Salesforce ID requested and request ID. Okay, and which time, which date, everything you can able to. And also the status code is a 200. And also one more benefit here, we have not mentioned any kind of status code in this integration. So in REST, what it will do, it will take automatically it will show automatically the status code to us. It's working or not. Clear?
Yes.
So this is a response. Now just practice this one. Tomorrow I will show you how to retrieve and how to update, how to delete, and how to patch and how to put. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Mitra. Thank you.
Mhm.